Hey there, this is just a little subscriber update to let you know where the channel is going to be going in 2023, mapping out some of the episodes that we're planning for the coming year, as well as to update you on the production status of the animated history of Tibet. Everything's pretty early stage right now, but I'm going to share a little bit of the work in progress artwork and concept art that we've been producing for the series, and I'm pretty excited about that project. I'm pretty hyped, so I think that that's where I'm going to begin. But if you just want to know about our normal social science content, you can skip to the timestamp below. I want to thank, as always, our co-executive producers over at Tibet House US. This project would not be possible without them, and right now we're pretty deep in pre-production. I'm still working on some of the scripts, and the animation and character design is going to begin in late January, early February, when our lead animator, Sarah Amber, is going to join the team. At the moment, we're working on illustrated maps and digital matte paintings, finding the right tone for different locations and different time periods. There are a lot of locations that we visit that change over time, so the matte paintings are essential for establishing the setting and tone of different episodes. And Tenzin Gyurme, who's doing a lot of that work for us, is a really good artist. In addition to the digital painting that he's been doing, he's also an accomplished studio artist, and you can find some of the links to his work below in the video description. If you like the project and you think that what we're doing is cool, in addition to backing the channel, please do support the artists. They're fantastic. I'm constantly amazed by the quality of their work. And speaking of amazing things, the map work being done by the Voyagers Workshop is really, really good. You can find links to their stuff as well in the video description. This is an early stage kind of draft map of the Tibetan Plateau and its surrounding regions that we're making. The color palette might change a little bit. This section, for example, is sort of where the Tibetan Plateau flows down into Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and Nagaland. And we're currently testing things out to find the right color palette to contrast regions like that with Western Tibet, for example, to give regional flavor to places like Gilgit and Ladakh flowing into Jammu and Kashmir, or in areas like the Taklamakan Desert and the Tsaidam Basin to use visual shorthand to communicate the relevant topographical information without, overly crowding or cluttering the map. And this, like many of our maps, is also going to exist in several different versions that show how population centers and specific points of interest grow and change over time. For example, places like Dunhuang and Saparang are extremely important, vibrant locations at the beginning of the series, but as we move forward in time, they're partially abandoned and diminish in their political and economic significance. And I want to communicate those changes visually by having the location markers themselves change and evolve from episode to episode. Now, this is my business brain talking, but if you want to own prints of some of the maps that we're making, you can do that. You'll be able to purchase maps and other merchandise towards the end of 2023, so not yet, but I'll be posting some information about how to pick those up in the late summer, maybe early fall, and then the prints will be available for purchase when the animated history of Tibet is released. With that in mind, there's been a slight change to our release schedule. Originally, the entire series was going to be released on a bi-weekly basis starting in November, but in writing the first few episodes, we realized that we needed to expand the scope of the animated history of Tibet to incorporate more specialist interviews, as well as to spend some additional time in each historical epoch, fleshing out the historical settings, providing a little bit of additional narrative denouement, if you will. So we've extended the length of each episode to 25 to 30 minutes. And to make that work for the art team, we're also adjusting the release schedule to accommodate the additional workload. The first 3 episodes will air as planned in November, but then we're going to separate the remaining 6 episodes into 2 parts, each with 3 episodes, which we plan to release in the spring and summer respectively. So that's the big change, basically. Now, while we're working on all of that, we still plan to keep up with our regular social science content, and the majority of the episodes that I'll be releasing in 2023 are going to be in the Theory to Go format. So we're doing a lot of short explainers next year, which isn't necessarily ideal. It's not the content that really excites me as a creator, but a lot of my energy as a writer and producer is going to be channeled into the animated history of Tibet. With that said, I have prepped a few long-form videos that I want to release next year that I think are pretty exciting. One is a long-form video essay on the anthropology of genocide, exploring how social scientists study and have adapted methods to research mass violence, and using applied anthropology, how social scientists can make valuable contributions in post-genocide environments. I'm a little nervous about that one. I don't know how the algorithm is gonna react. I'm also going to be making some content on the most important, or the most influential publications in the history of social science from a contemporary qualitative research perspective. There are a few subscribers that asked me to do like a bookshelf tour, and that's kind of my way of doing that. And last but not least, I'm going to do a couple of off the shelves, kind of getting back to basics. I'll be talking about the anthropology of magic and religion, which was one of my core disciplines when I was coming up as an MA and PhD back in the day. And I'll probably put the second one up to a vote, something on methods for sure. But I'll see what people are interested in having me discuss. So that's the plan for 2023. I think it's going to be an exciting year for the channel. I'm really looking forward to the animated history of Tibet coming out. And on a personal level, I'm looking forward to, continuing to grow as a writer and editor, finding new ways to translate my academic background and research into an accessible and hopefully entertaining format for the platform. That's been an incredibly rewarding experience. So do keep an eye out for our new content towards the end of January, and until then, never stop learning. If you're interested in supporting our work, please do subscribe, drop a comment, do all the YouTube things, but also consider visiting our Patreon and supporting our work directly, like these wonderful people right here. At the moment, we have scripts, comprehensive reading lists, and other written content, including study guides for most of our videos. And in the future, we're planning on producing Patreon exclusive content. Wow. I know, right? Including some behind-the-scenes videos for the animated history of Tibet, sharing concept art and additional artwork, and conceivably interviews with members of our creative team. So, come on over and check us out.